Hey, you're back.
Hi!
On this episode of However, Pam Bondi weighs in on the unprecedented success of the Dow Jones Industrial Average.
Yes, I mean, the question was really about why she's treating the Epstein Files Transparency Act like a polite suggestion rather than a federal fucking law, but sure.
We speculate on how this woman still has her job or is in charge of anything more high stakes than bingo night at the local nursing home. And we come to the same tragically bleak conclusion simultaneously.
Okay.
Fuck!
And Pete Hegseth is in the news again.
Of course he is. And who's he hurling axes at this time? Anthropic.
Which honestly cements the AI company's spot in my cool book.
Yeah, mine too. Maybe I just don't like the guy. He gives me the ick in the biggest way. And finally, Stephen Colbert. Valiant social justice warrior or spiteful self-martyr.
You'll never guess which of us thinks the latter.
Of course, there's the usual myriad of tangents.
But we promise they are all super duper relevant.
So relevant.
Did you just say Rand Paul?
Yes, I did.
No.
No? Not for you?
What? Right. Oh, not for you either. I'm making this decision on your behalf.
Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Jess.
And I'm Jack Brett.
We're neurodivergent besties on either side of political center.
Join us as we inexpertly debate and fact-check our way to some kind of agreeance.
Or at least an understandment.
Let's get into it.
I had one correction from Uncanny Valley. He told me about a tweet or
Yeah.
something someone posted on the socials media. I had shot down the idea that there must be some evolutionary selection pressure that made us evolve the Uncanny Valley on the grounds that it's just I said it was just a manifestation of our us-them tendency to see someone who doesn't look like me. The less they look like me, the less I trust them.
Mm-hmm.
But that is not what Uncanny Valley is. My first hypothesis didn't take the valley into account, the fact that it's not a linear scale, but it's trust, valley, distrust, and then bam, perfect moves, looks, talks, and walks like a human. I trust you. It looks enough like me to earn my trust, to make me treat it like a human and turn on the I'm interacting with a human neural template. And when that expectation is violated, it's a sad chemical release because I got it wrong, and it triggers our error correction mechanism to say, whoa, you cannot be so easily trusting things that look like that, and that looked enough like us that we can switch, that we can turn off our sort of stranger danger mode for long enough to get close to it. Is a better explanation that doesn't necessarily require us to have interacted with alien or replicant of any kind in our evolutionary history. The end.
Does that neurological thing not happen for seeing other things that look like something but aren't?
Interesting. I don't think so, but let me follow up with the perplexity, because that's a good question.
Because I feel like the Uncanny Valley is specific to human beings.
Well, actually, another thing that I read is that macaque monkeys have been observed to have Uncanny Valley behavior. They look at a figure for less time of something that looks just like them but moves in a different way than someone who looks and moves like them.
So just because they don't look at it as long, they're concluding that that's an Uncanny Valley?
It's just suggesting that some experimental evidence suggests that the Uncanny Valley effect predates humans. I mean, I'd have to read more about the design of the experiment. I'm sure they did some control.
I'm sure, but in my brain, if I'm looking at something that looks human but isn't, and I'm experiencing the Uncanny Valley, I'm going to look at it a lot longer than I normally would. To
Good.
Gauge better.
Oh, interesting.
But maybe that's just me? Yeah, I'm going to keep my eye on that freaky shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I would too. But it would creep me out, obviously. I guess maybe the monkey is less inclined to try to figure out what is happening, and just like it triggers the fight or flight because it is that eerie.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I also have a correction, since we're doing corrections.
Please.
In our February 9th recording, I talked about a thought I had about capitalism, and I referred to it as something to the effect of a mechanism by which it ensures we're all working for the greater good. And that is definitely not what I meant. My thought process was more, capitalism allows everyone to trade something for money, and the individual person gets to choose what that thing is that they are trading for money. And in my brain, I was thinking, this way we have consumer control, and it forces us to boycott bad people when they do bad things. But that only matters if we actually do the thing.
Yeah. So your intended point about capitalism was that it gives consumers the ability to choose how they spend their capital, and thus like what causes they're sort of voting for with their dollars. It also gives consumers the power to sort of like put a hurt on corporations that are not
Yes.
that have not been good this year, so to speak.
Yes, if they are coordinated enough. And my point was that in 2026, we have the ability to be more coordinated than ever. Not that we necessarily will be.
All stand nostra.
So the Pam Bondi hearing.
I mean, I can render an opinion first if you like.
But the Dow is over 50,000, Jack Brett.
That was hilarious. I mean, it was like, could you be any more Trump right now? That is such a Trump thing to do. Just like distract. Oh, look at the squirrel over there. Like, this is not why you are being questioned before Congress. This is not why all these survivors, hauled their butts out there today to, watch you fail at this hearing.
Because Donald Trump, the Dow right now is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing.
All of the memes are fucking hysterical.
What's an example of one of these hysterical memes?
This is from Egg Czar at EarthBra, who said, so our government is basically like, no, don't mess with that. That's a load-bearing child sex trafficking ring. Oh, here we go. It is an image of the iconic scene from Titanic where Rose is on the plank and Jack is in the water. She's holding on to him. And it says, "It's okay, Jack. The Dow is over 50,000.
That's hilarious. I mean, and not only does that have nothing to do with what she's being asked about, but it's not part of her job to like keep track of what the Dow is. It just happens to be a talking point that the president likes to flaunt. That was one of many burns by Pam Bondi. Did you notice that she had a book with her, like of dirt on everybody?
Yeah, they called it a burn book.
She is a fugly slut.
Burn book. Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
Yeah. She had dirt on all the people on the left.
And did you, Jared Moskowitz, I think,
Yes.
Democrat from Florida, his comment, awesome. I mean,
I loved it.
okay, so you did, okay, because like sometimes, I don't know, half of me is like, grow up, dude, don't play into her game. But, part of me is like, oh, yeah, it's like some Gavin Newsom shit.
Yeah, he's the guy that held up the board at the end, right? And was like,
I'm interested to see what staff provided on the oppo on me. And because we're in the Olympics, I'm going to give it a grade. I just want to see how good it is. So give me your best one.
Yeah.
I also wrote down, he had a quote when he was laying it on her that said,
Trump's name also appears more times in the Epstein file than Harry Potter's name appears in the 7 books about Harry Potter.
Yeah, I forgot that came from that hearing.
So, Baylant, she was doing the questioning, and she asked a very simple question. And Pam Bondi is silent for a small second, and then starts saying she's stunned that we're still talking about Epstein and then she started to like go on to say she was going to use our burn book to burn Baylant. And my brain immediately went, you're stunned? You're stunned that people want to question you about the thing you're here to be questioned about. You're stunned about that.
Yeah,
this is why you're here.
The Dow. I mean, did you hear that the Dow? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm stunned that you want to continue talking about.
Oh my gosh.
Epstein
Okay,
instead
I'm
of a
reclaiming
border
my
patrol.
time.
Are you though? Are you stunned?
I mean, that's just as incredulous as anything else she said in that hearing.
The only reason I can think of that Trump has not ceremoniously thrown her under the bus by now is that she has to know some serious shit.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of, because any other DOJ person would have been gone by now.
Yeah. And especially a Trump DOJ person. Like, you make me look bad in the news, under the bus with you.
To be fair, any other president would have also resigned by now.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Remember the days when we all thought we would never have a president worse than W?
I miss that guy now.
Oh, God, what I wouldn't give for him to be in charge. I mean, at least well, I don't know. I will never cease to be amazed by how much Pam Bondi, just like her willingness to humiliate herself for this man, like to like refuse to look these survivors in the eye and just trample all over their stories. And like, I don't want to invoke her sex and say that her being a woman should have any bearing on how she feels about the situation, but I just find it ironic that, like, I mean, that certainly it seemed to make a difference when it came to the House Republicans choosing, their conscience over their party. We got Nancy Mace, we got the Margie Taylor Greene, the Lauren Boebert. I mean, that's certainly a lot more than we saw male Republicans support this bill. So I don't know.
Maybe Trump has some dirt on Bondi and she can't turn against him.
That is a possibility. Maybe that's why he put her in the position to be the one to see the Epstein files to begin with.
Ooh.
Like, he can trust her with his secrets because he already knows hers. Wow, That's the only thing that has actually made sense to me so far.
This makes the most sense. This is why he hasn't thrown her under the bus yet.
Okay. Fuck.
God damn it.
I mean, hopefully we get to find out both things eventually. And just hold both of these people to account. Otherwise, it's just a
I'm telling you, man.
Cycle.
Wipe the slate and get us millennials in there. We will tear that shit apart. This is what we were meant to do.
Term limits. I mean, I still see it as a bit of a pipe dream just because of how many people are benefiting from the old guard. But yeah, God, it is not in the American people's best interest to keep these geriatric people in power who have no idea how to navigate this, the threats that we're facing with AI and social media.
No, they do not.
Get them out. Get them the fuck out. This is
You're not willing to learn? Get the fuck out.
I could not agree with you more on this, Jess.
Thank you. See? Hashtag wipe the slate. If it weren't for the fact that I disagree with almost everything Thomas Massie stands for, I would kiss that man and knight him. And
I mean, was there any other Republican in the Pam Bondi hearing who actually challenged her?
No, and I looked that up because I was wondering, where is Marjorie Taylor Greene and Nancy Mace? And it's the House Judiciary Committee, not the House Oversight Committee. I thought it was an Oversight Committee hearing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Judiciary. Yeah, I guess those are two different committees.
Yeah, two different committees. But his display was awesome. Very proud of you, Thomas Massie. Also, ever since they gave them access to the unredacted files on computers, and apparently it's like this super tiny room with 4 computers, and they can't even they can't take pictures or print anything. Like, they can take notes, but only on paper and pen that they've provided. Like,
and they can only be there during certain hours of the day. And it is strongly suspected that their searches are being recorded.
oh yeah, absolutely. And there's people in there watching them do it.
Yeah.
But just the stuff that they found, that Thomas Massie and the bipartisan Democrat guy who co-sponsored the bill that got passed,
Rokana.
thank you, they were in there for like 2 hours, and Thomas Massie was like, in 2 hours, we found so many things that definitely should not have been redacted.
Yeah, like actual people that were co-conspirators, and their names were inexplicably redacted.
I'm glad that they at least have access to do the thing.
Yeah, I mean, all the roadblocks that the DOJ has thrown up, though, is just like really runs counter to the narrative that their goal here is full transparency. Like, anyone who believes that the Trump administration has been transparent, or that their goal is ultimate, justice for the victims, I'm sorry, but you are smoking the reefer.
Yeah, one of the things Pam Bondi said was, and President Trump signed that bill into law. And I'm like, because he was forced to. And I think Thomas Massie was the one that said, because we fucking forced you. Well, he doesn't use the F word, but... Yeah.
You had no choice. I mean,
You had no choice.
The closest to a unanimous thing from...
Have you heard the conspiracy theory that Jeffrey Epstein is still alive?
Various permutations of it, yeah.
So, there's a 4chan communication who said a van pulled up and we didn't log it. And someone told me they sent him to the clinic or whatever, but none of the nurses ever saw him. Like, none of the nurses admit to having seen him. And that led me into a rabbit hole of, the autopsy. Tell me about the autopsy. And I found out that the person overseeing the autopsy, that person's conclusion is it's homicide. But the chief medical examiner of New York, they're the ones who ruled it a suicide.
That's sus AF.
Yep. And to be clear, I don't believe in the conspiracy that he's alive, but I am very interested in the fact that the autopsy person said homicide and the chief medical examiner said suicide.
Yeah, that, a lot of details surrounding the death of Jeffrey Epstein are suspicious. But that does not make me any less suspicious about the circumstances around.
Yeah, it's just a new piece of information I learned in my rabbit hole. And I'm like, well, the hits just keep coming.
Yeah, man. I mean, it is endlessly interesting. I'll give you that.
I do love that there are a lot of people on both sides being like, you said this was a hoax. Y'all said there was nothing here. So somebody lied.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Consequences.
Please and thank you.
Anyone. I do understand that a lot of the evidence that they have is testimonial. So there's not like hard, concrete prosecutorial evidence. And that is the reason why they didn't bring charges to anyone else. I can understand that. However, there are things in the files that suggest there would be prosecutorial things that they could do if the statute of limitations hadn't run out.
I mean, sounds like a cop-out. But if the statute of limitations is run out, like, I guess that is a reason for not bringing charges. But as I understand, there's a bill. I don't know if it's been approved yet. I doubt it. but that would essentially end the statute of limitations for cases like this.
They already did pass that. Biden passed that.
Oh, Biden passed that. Oh, was it the Virginia Giuffre one, the one that named after the Epstein victim that wrote a book?
I don't know what it was called. It's totally possible. But I did look it up, like, why is that the case? And because it was only 5 years for the longest time. And sadly, they can't retcon that. So despite the fact that those people may not see justice, the American people get to know who they are.
I think that is only fair.
Like a Brock Turner situation.
Who's Brock Turner?
Who is Brock Turner?
Yes.
Damn it. This means it's not as well known as I had hoped. But
or I'm just in a bubble. I mean, there's a lot of... I'm not also not on the social media.
Fair enough, but I feel like this would have definitely got talked about by at least the fake news media. Maybe not the late night hosts. It might jog your memory. Raped a woman in an alley. And it's not a he said, she said thing. There are 2 witnesses that rolled up on him and got him to stop doing the thing. So it's he said, they said.
Yeah, it's...
and he was found guilty, but he served like 6 months in prison total. And now he's out. And
seems
at least for me, if Brock Turner ever needs something from me, he ain't gonna get it. And along those same lines, I feel like we deserve to know the people in the Epstein files. But Brock Turner, raper, dad famously said he shouldn't be punished for the rest of his life because of 20 seconds of activity. Yeah.
The length of time that it took for him to commit the crime, that's what should save him here. Yeah, I totally agree with that logic. Yeah, that's lame. Brock Turner. Okay, I was thinking about friending him on Facebook, but now that I know his reputation, no siree.
Yeah, that man should never be afforded any modicum of respect. Not until he's paid his debt to society at the very least, which I don't think he has.
Legally speaking.
Yeah, legally speaking he has. But not according to me. And I don't honestly know what I would accept as having paid your debt to society.
Well, I mean, we're veering into Luigi Mangione territory here, girl. What would... should we not trust judges and juries to be the deciders of these things?
We gotta do the thing.
We don't always like it, but we have judges and juries for a reason. I may not be a perfect system, but I can't think of a better one.
This is why we gotta reconvene the Constitutional Convention, Jack.
Back to this. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I just think the impossibility of what you are suggesting here, inhibits me from even. You're an out of the box thinker. I love that about you.
Couldn't we? Look, here's how I sell it to the American people. It'll be the single greatest, most significant thing anyone in this lifetime has ever done. We will all be known for this into the history books for seeing the error of our ways and doing something about it. Do you not want to be a part of that? Come on.
No, not if I can vote against it and keep myself rich and cushy and rewarding all my friends with political favors and such.
This is why we gotta wipe the slate. That's my other one.
Get rid of them all. Just
get rid.
Clean slate.
Bye. Okay, thanks. Bye.
On. Thank you for your service.
I did write something down about.
What did you write down about?
Oh, apparently, according to a senior Pentagon official, Pete Hegseth got his panties in a twist because the AI that the government deals with for related things is Anthropic, and Anthropic isn't letting them mass surveil the United States or use their AI for autonomous weapons. And he is bitching and moaning about that at the Pentagon.
So they ask, okay, you're saying that what I, Jack Brett, is typing into Claude. Pete Hegseth wants to know that, wants to know what all of us are submitting, and they want Anthropic to provide them with that information. Is that what they ask?
I think they want Anthropic to allow Claude to search through their database of all the surveillance they've already done on Americans, kind of thing. They don't want to have that safety measure in place. And at this point, I want to go buy Claude to say thank you for putting your foot down and not letting Pete Hegseth throw a fit and win. He's Angelica from
Rugrats.
Rugrats, yes.
It's not fair! It's not fair! It's not fair!
Yeah, the Anthropic has had like mad good publicity lately. They're definitely like they're winning the publicity war between the AI companies at this point. And yeah, this is just another feather in their cap for sure. I had not heard about this Anthropic thing. Like, I mean, that's concerning, of course. I think not that I'd put it past Pete Hegseth to use whatever tool in his arsenal to I don't know what his real goal is. I guess maybe I really don't know what he's got in mind with all this.
Not great things, probably. I don't see how it could be great things.
Every move he's made so far seems like very performative and social media driven, but like this seems like a move that shows that he actually has authoritarian designs, and not so much just that he's a dumb jock whose only job is to capture, to do something stupid and capture the headlines when Trump needs him to.
Yeah, no, he likes to be able to play with the power that he has, and he wants more of it. And this is why I would get rid of Pete Hegseth first.
He's the first one you'd get rid of, huh?
Yep. If you gave me the choice between Trump and Hegseth, it would be Hegseth.
Oh, okay. So we're not talking. Okay. If Trump's on the table, then absolutely it's Trump first, because I think everything. I mean, no president would keep all these idiots on staff after he's gone. But like, if it was just like we're talking about, which cabinet member? Go ahead.
Because JD Vance would take his place, and I don't think JD Vance would get rid of anybody.
My prediction would be that JD Vance would have, well, I guess it depends on the circumstances around Trump's leaving office. Like, as I see it, Trump is like
impeached.
Yeah, okay. If that were the case, and if he were impeached, I would think that it would be in JD Vance's best interest to clean house, to drain the swamp, as it were, and full restaffing. And I mean, even if
I wonder what makes us both think those things.
So yeah, where's our area of disagreement as you see it?
So if I understand correctly, you're convinced that if Trump was impeached, JD Vance would immediately get rid of everybody Trump appointed and appoint his own people in order to wipe off the stigma of whatever it was that got him impeached in the first place. And I think he absolutely would not. I'm trying to figure out why we both get those impressions for ourselves.
And my perception, I think, is based on a lot of the insider accounts from cabinet members that like have been relieved of duty or just or have served out their term but had a story to tell.
Oh, right. You've read the Bob Woodward thing is what you talk about a lot, right?
Yeah. Bob Woodward, he's one person who's had a very close glimpse. He's like interviewed everybody that worked for Trump, and the consensus is basically nobody likes Trump. Like, I mean, they see the value of him. They see like the charisma and attachment to his name that can boost their profile, but nobody genuinely believes in this guy's vision or thinks of him as anything other than a complete lunatic narcissist man-child. And so like, and I mean, even within his own party, like he mostly controls them by fear, as I understand, like fear of what he can do to their careers. They're afraid to defy him. But if he lost all that capital, if he lost his position at the helm of this party and nobody was the better for continuing to defend his actions. I don't think anybody ideologically would still be aligned with him. They would see no reason to continue supporting his nonsensical policies.
That doesn't mean that J.D. Vance would get rid of Pete Hegseth, though. Because Pete Hegseth would be included in the people who don't like Trump personally and are fine with him being gone.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think he might clean house with those who have gotten the most bad publicity, but I don't see how that couldn't include Pete Hegseth.
All that to say, if you could guarantee me that getting rid of Trump would get rid of Pete Hegseth, and I had to pick between the two, I would pick Trump. But if I had to pick between the two, Hegseth. I would keep that man out. He is a danger to the literal world, I think. I don't know why I think that. I gotta figure that out. Yeah, it's just vibes or something. Yeah, it's icky. He gives me the ick in the biggest way.
Yeah. He just seems like such a dumb jock. Like someone that the last person I would choose to be the kind of like frat boy, testosterone infused guy that I would be the last person I'd want to be in charge of the strongest military in the world.
Yeah. He feels like the guy who rented out the Situation Room to rewatch the Iran bombings so he could masturbate to them. That's what it feels like. He feels like that kind of guy.
Oh, and thank you for the mental image.
Sorry. The Dow is over 50,000, Jack Brett.
Oh, well, why didn't you just say so? That really clears everything up for me.
Yes.
I mean, was there any reason to talk about anything else in American politics or life in general when the Dow has had this unprecedented success?
I'm just going to randomly interject that into our conversation. Even when we're not talking about Pam Bondi, it's going to be like 5 weeks later, and I'm going to say that. It's going to be hysterical.
Yeah.
Actually. Anyways.
No, we'll just see how long we can stretch out this joke. It's still funny to me.
Yeah. So tell me about this Colbert thing.
So apparently, the plan of the Late Show with Stephen Colbert was to have on this candidate, James Talarico. He's running for Senate seat in Texas. He's running in the primary, and the Texas primary early voting starts today, which would be the day after the airing of this would-be interview. I mean, the interview was aired, but not on the network, and that is because CBS's lawyers called the Late Show directly and told them in no uncertain terms, this is according to Stephen Colbert, that they were not to air the interview on the network. They could put it in their YouTube channel, but they could not put the link in the live network broadcast or direct viewers to it in any way. Mm-hmm. And this was in the wake of the FCC opening a probe into The View after they had also had James Talarico, this very same candidate, on their network. It is so that there's been a long-standing rule that applies to networks that they have to give equal time to any equally qualified candidate. They have to make sure to give them the same opportunity, the same platform to get their message out to the voters as anyone else. Mm-hmm. And late show comedy has traditionally been exempt from this statute, but that has apparently been the new FCC chair, Brendan Carr, has rendered a new interpretation of the equal time rule. Apparently it was understood by the ABC network lawyers that they could stir the pot, they could make enemies of the Trump administration by airing this interview on network television. And apparently, according to Stephen Colbert, he was not even supposed to disclose that the network told him not to air this interview. He was just supposed to not air it and not say anything to the audience, but...
Then I was told, in some uncertain terms, that not only could I not have him on, I could not mention me not having him on. And because my network clearly doesn't want us to talk about this, let's talk about this.
This is his a sign that Colbert's got no fucks left to give. You know, he's gone in March or in May, and one way or another, like he is not going to let the network decide what he can and can't say. So like we'll see what happens to him from here. Like so far the network has come out with a statement after Stephen Colbert essentially said they told me that I couldn't say this, but I'm saying it anyway. Like they put out a statement saying we did not restrict what Colbert was allowed to say online. We simply presented him with the options of balancing out the James Talarico interview with other candidates or posing several other options to comply with this equal time rule. He chose not to go with those options and instead just to put out the interview on YouTube instead of the network. So like there's trouble in paradise. Like there's different stories coming from. Yeah.
I mean, all you had to do was bring the other candidate on your show. That's it.
Oh, on Colbert's part, that was spiteful.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
You're assuming that that what the network said is true. That like they actually did not give him the directive not to talk about this.
I think once Colbert made his choice, they may have given him the directive. Yes, but if they gave him the choice to look, I'm a company. I've got lawyers. A neighboring company has just become under investigation for the equal time rule. I see that this is going to happen. I go, shit, we don't want to start that. That's unnecessary legal money down the drain. So we either have to, Stephen, air this and have the other candidate on, or we could just quietly put it on YouTube. And Stephen Colbert chooses quietly put it on YouTube. And I say, okay, it would be great if you didn't mention that to the people, because we don't want the legal ramifications of you having mentioned and directing people to it to possibly be a reason for us to get sued.
You don't see that as sus of them, like as them like capitulating to this overreach by the FCC and just kind of like buckling under that pressure?
No, I see it as, oh shit, I don't want to go through this long, drawn-out court process. Let's be better safe than sorry. Here are the two ways you can be safer than sorry, and we can allow this thing to continue. Because otherwise, why wouldn't they just not air it at all? They wouldn't even put it on YouTube. They would just, like, cut it entirely. Like, but they allowed him to put it on the YouTube channel.
I mean, that, to me, that equates to buckling. Like, since the late shows have been traditionally exempt from this, like they've not been considered subject to this equal time policy. Like the fact that new FCC chair decides to interpret it a different way, like you don't see that as like them caving under pressure.
I haven't read the FCC rule on equal time, but if it's traditionally late night shows have not been held to that standard, or it's explicitly in the equal time law that they should not be held to that standard. Because I would argue, unless it is explicitly said, late night talk show hosts have as much, if not more, political influence than news broadcast media.
I would agree with that.
And since that's the case, I wouldn't mind them being beholden to that viewpoint. It would force non-political polarization.
I wondered how you, if you would feel that way about that, like how you would feel about the underlying statute. Like maybe Brendan Carr has the right idea with like expanding this to, I thought that's maybe how you feel about it.
He better also hold Republican shows accountable for this as well.
I mean, yeah, my forgive my smile there. I still see his agenda as purely political, but I feel like this might be a like clock right twice a day situation from your vantage point.
I think he's interpreting the law to his advantage, not necessarily with the altruistic idea that equal time should be given, but I do think broken clock right twice a day. Yes.
Okay, cool. All right.
If that's helpful.
Yes. Even the broken clock is right twice a day.
Exactly. So in my view, it is a bit of a dick move on Stephen Colbert's part. It's very spiteful to outwardly refuse to have the other candidate on, because he could have asked him so many great questions.
I mean, yeah, that's assuming that they would appear on his show. Like, so in the case of
Why
the
wouldn't
primary, you're right in this case. Like, there's many reasons why a Republican or like any, especially a MAGA, Trump supporter would not appear on Colbert, because it would be a very unfriendly audience. For the reason that even Bill Maher, who is pretty level-headed, has a hard time, getting Republicans to appear on his show. Like, it'd be 10 times worse.
No. Bill Maher has a problem getting Democrats on his show.
Well, he has a lot. He still has like an easier time getting Democrats on the show than Republicans, because like the audience is overwhelmingly going to like cheer for the Democrat. Yes.
No.
Yes.
Really?
I mean, you don't have. Well, yeah. I mean, that's it's. He is.
Maybe I'm misremembering something he said then.
What he said? Well, like the audience, like, I mean, it's a Southern California audience. Like, it leans very heavily Democratic. Like,
yes.
However much shit he gives the Democratic Party, and he does, like, he's known for holding both sides equally accountable. But like, the audience, I mean, with few exceptions, like, they're going to be overwhelmingly Democratic.
Fine, concede that point.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I heard Bill Maher say something to the effect of,
they're afraid to come on the show of a guy who voted for them. The Republicans, they show up.
Mm. Okay, I do seem to recall this, but like, I think there's a bit more context around
maybe
that
it's
quote.
just in politicians specifically, like the other guests he has that aren't politicians are Democratic.
Maybe. I'd have to like. Yeah, I mean, my perception is like the audience is much more Democrat friendly. When it comes to the Democrats who have refused to come on his program, they do exist, and like, especially since Bill Maher had dinner with Trump, and that is, I mean, something that I vehemently disagree with. That like you would shit on Bill Maher for having dinner with Trump. I think that, like, he's a public figure. Like,
who wouldn't want to ask that man as many questions as possible?
Yeah.
I would love to have Trump in a room right now. I'll ask him so many questions. He would be so uncomfortable.
You think that, but like, I hear that, like, in close quarters, he's very charming. Like, you could not. I don't want to say what you would or wouldn't say or ask in a Trump interview. I have a feeling that my people-pleasing nature would like take over. He would say the right thing, just take the right salesman technique that would make me forget who he is and how much I absolutely despise him. But in general, if I were a skilled journalist, someone adept in the art of holding someone accountable, pressing the issues, I would absolutely love to have him in a room and get all the information out of him that I can.
Yeah. Regardless, yes, you cannot refuse to go on Bill Maher's show and spew your points to the people watching that show simply because he had dinner with Trump. That to me means you're trying to morally justify not going on his show by giving some bullshit excuse like that.
I mean, that is your viewpoint, and I appreciate it and I respect it. I mean, by that logic, you would probably say, and you have said, that Scott Galloway should not have turned down the invitation to Bill Maher's show just because Steve Bannon would appear alongside him on the panel.
Really bad decision. Really bad decision, Scott Galloway.
And I disagree. I mean, I do see your viewpoint. I think I would like to think, as someone in Scott Galloway's position, I would see it as a feather in my cap. I would see it as something I'm proud of, that I wanted to go on camera with this person I so fervently disagree with, and be on record disagreeing with him on these things. I feel like that, that establishes me as someone who is very, very anti-Steve Bannon. But I also understand like his logic behind, just given the argumentative tactics that Steve Bannon is known to use, that don't always lead to a conducive, that don't always lead to a productive conversation, and are more inclined to just like destabilize you. Speed chess versus slow chess, as I see it.
That's fair. If you can't emotionally handle yourself under that kind of chatter, then you definitely shouldn't go on the show. You're just gonna make it worse.
Yeah.
I wish that he could emotionally handle that conversation, because I would love to know the things that he would say in response to Steve Bannon's points of views.
I feel like there's nobody better qualified to argue against someone like Steve Bannon than someone like where I believe the facts and the law and the logic are fully on Scott Galloway's side. Like, Bannon would have no choice but to employ these speed chess tactics, which hopefully, Scott Galloway would be able to match him blow for blow.
I mean, honestly, I doubt they'd get into any kind of match in general anyways, because Bill Maher's the one that drives the conversation, and he usually asks each person a particular question. There's not a whole lot of, table talk that isn't steered by Bill Maher specifically.
He's a good mediator. Like, he does tend to like seize control of the conversation if it's getting out of control, but like the guests do talk to each other.
But they yell? Or they do that kind of chatter?
Sometimes. Well, yeah, I mean, Sam Harris was in a hot-tempered exchange with Ben Affleck. Yes, that Ben Affleck. Yeah, Sam Harris. I guess it was like. I mean, Sam Harris is famously like hard to pin down politically. I mean, well,
I didn't know that. I thought he was for sure Democrat.
Yeah, well, he's a very strong Trump critic, but like I just learned recently that like a lot of his followership, like perhaps the majority of his listeners, lean to the right side of the spectrum. His stance on the threat of jihadism it runs counter to a lot of people on the left. Like, he sees it as an extraordinary threat. Like, he does not, he's no fan of religion in general.
Fair.
But he explicitly points out the difference between the danger of jihadism and the danger of like Christian nationalism. Like, jihadism so much worse in terms of, honor killings and just their general like violent, the cultural violence and executing non-believers.
Agree.
Like,
not the religion of Islam as a whole, but the jihad ones.
Yeah.
Whew. And like, I think the whole problem is also too like the number of people over there that follow this religion is so vast that the 25% of them who do follow jihad is the same number of people that are in America.
Wait, what? Oh, the same. Wait, what?
For every one American, there is a Muslim who believes in jihadism.
For every American, there is a Muslim. Oh, okay. So like the population of America, that comprises 25%, or that comprises like the same number of people as the jihad cohort of the Islam faith.
Correct. So it is not a small number, because people like to quote it and say it's only a quarter of the religion, and it's like, yeah, it is only a quarter of the religion, but that quarter is the size of the United States. so it's a lot.
Yeah, put in that perspective, you might think Trump even had the right idea by saying we should ban all Muslims. That is not Sam Harris's position, by the way, nor is it mine.
Mine neither.
But exchange, the heated exchange between him and Ben Affleck on Bill Maher, was basically based on Ben Affleck's misinterpretation, is like a xenophobic interpretation of Sam Harris's position on jihadism, and suggesting he was racist. And yeah, it was
Fascinating.
it was a whole thing. Mm-hmm. And like Sam Harris didn't know really how to respond. Like it's his first time ever interacting with Ben Affleck at all. Like it's like
That's
this
fair.
guy's Batman.
If you want to be liberals, believe in liberal principles like
Right.
freedom of speech, like
Right.
we are endowed by our forefathers with an inalienable rights, like all men are created equal.
Ben, we have to be able to criticize bad ideas. And
Of course we do. No liberal doesn't want
okay,
you to criticize bad
But
ideas.
Islam
But
at
why
this moment
would-
is the motherlode of bad ideas.
Batman is yelling at me.
Yeah. But in general, I would agree that Bill Maher does keep pretty good control of the conversations. Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with you. I'd be very interested to know, to see Scott Galloway in a round table with Steve Bannon, just to see how it plays out.
Any opportunity to depolarize the viewing public is an opportunity that should be taken, in my opinion, by both sides.
That's
Obviously.
a good. Oh yeah. I mean, that's a great point. I mean, that's the reason that Pete Buttigieg deigns to appear on Fox News as often as he does, it because it's the only way that he's going to get any kind of message out to a very large portion of the population.
Yep, that's
And
one
I
of the reasons
absolutely
why
agree
he's at the
with all
top of my list.
Yeah, same. He's at the top of my list. That is no secret.
I mean, Rand Paul.
Of those who
2020,
have-
but
Rand Paul.
yeah,
Did you just say Rand Paul?
yes, I did.
No.
Not
no.
for you?
What? Right. Oh, not for you either. I'm making this decision on your behalf. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't own you or control you in any way. But
Not a Rand Paul fan. Huh?
well, maybe I just think back to his. I mean, he's a doctor. He's like a medical doctor, and yet he grabbed and ran with these like anti-Fauci narratives that the Trump administration was trying to push forward during the COVID pandemic, and I just lost so much respect for him in those days.
Interesting.
I mean, he's like recently come out against Trump on some important issues. He's like not been afraid to push back, which elevates him in my cool book. But he had a long period there where he was like one of the worst ones for me.
So, one, you haven't seen the Bill Maher that talks about that, I guess.
I've seen all the Bill Mahers.
Oh, so then you disagree with the one where they talk about COVID?
They talk about COVID in a lot of them. Who talks about COVID and what do they say about COVID?
Bill Maher talks about COVID, saying like half the shit they were saying isn't true, and we should have been able to have a conversation about the lab and some other stuff. Was very eager to ask your opinion about that show. Maybe I will give you that as a action item.
Well, I do remember like Bill Maher making statements about how the pandemic was overblown, like certain decisions like keeping kids out of schools, like that was unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
Basically it wasn't as big a deal as the media made it out to be. I don't necessarily disagree with that. I don't necessarily disagree with Bill Maher that in hindsight, like the decision to go and to keep kids out of schools, like maybe there was a way around that. Like I don't know how logistically that would have worked, like given that the kids are coming back and forth from the home, and like in multi-generational homes, that still exposes this vulnerable people to the virus. And that's that's kind of like why I think we in a crisis like that we err on the side of caution. But all that to say, I think I recall some statements that Bill Maher made about COVID that I disagree with, about like it being about like the level to which it was not actually a big deal. But I don't know, maybe that is a lookup. Maybe you have.
Maybe I'm not familiar with Rand Paul's position on anti-Fauci, because like a lot of what Bill Maher was talking about would be considered anti-Fauci. So I'm wondering in what ways Rand Paul was anti-Fauci, I guess. Maybe that's making you go ick.
I think that's what I would need to be informed on is Bill Maher's statements about like Fauci's mishandling. Like how does he agree with Rand Paul that Fauci did something wrong?
Yeah.
When it came to giving COVID advice.
I might be misinterpreting it, so you know. Regardless, I don't necessarily actually want Rand Paul to run.
Good.
Oh, thank you for clarifying that.
Sometimes I just like to see what you'll say.
Always the stir of the pot. And that concludes this week's episode. We know you're sad it's over. However, come on.
We'll definitely be back before anyone lands in jail for this Epstein business.
True that.
Okay, thanks, bye!
Bye! Thanks for watching. And hey, if you want to check out the Unlimited Tangents version of our conversation, link is in the description.
Yes, and if you want to see us bring some steel to a particular topic, let us know in the comments.